Hello everybody, I'm Julo. Welcome back to another video. Today, I decided to go to a nice beach, look at the clouds, and talk about the direction that I think set bonuses are heading in. So, as we all know, recently a new Horde pack was released called the Primeval Horde pack. And it has some very strong weapons, or wands I guess, and it also has a pretty darn good set bonus, I would say. So I guess let's jump right into things. Let's see what I think about them. So I think that King Zhao is going a little overboard with this new pack. 8 extra damage to fire in total, 6 to storm and myth, and then the ice and life set bonuses aren't even worth because they can just get the 5 universal damage from the fire set, because ice and life only get 4% for some reason. We've seen this damage buff. We've seen its impact in max level PvP, and it adds a pretty hefty sum of damage to builds at that level. But with the way damage is calculated in this game, it becomes a much bigger problem the lower level you go. It doesn't scale linearly. An example I can think right now is when I take off my Battle Narwhal on my Storm, and I crit a Tempest on a mob, it does 3802 damage. With Narwhal equipped, it does 3830. So damage is calculated like this. The base damage of the spell times your damage. In my case, this would be on my 174 damage setup. So times 2.74, and then also times 2 for the critical if you happen to crit. So the increase from 3802 to 3830 is a mere 28. 28 extra damage for having a Narwhal equipped. However, as you keep going, this number continues to increase in little increments of 28 flat damage. Simply put, making the switch to 181 damage max crit setup from my 174 damage setup would increase my flat damage on a 5-pip Tempest by like 100. Like, that's not that much. And it's also on a spell that's already close to doing 4,000 damage anyway. So if you really want that extra 0.025% damage, then by all means, spend crowds on this pack. However, I said before that the lower your level, the more effective the set bonus. Let's say you're an Exalted Fire with 114 damage using a normal minus 45 Ifrit, and you crit. In theory, with no buffs or resist from your opponent, it should be doing about 2,932 damage. With the set bonus, however, it now does 3,041 damage. So that's a little bit more than the 98 increase from the Tempest that I gave above. Now let's say you're on a Legend Fire with 94 damage and you crit an Ifrit. This will round up to 2,658 from 2657.56. Add the set bonus and it's doing about 2767.2, and you get the picture. The extra, although minuscule, damage bonus mixes with the decrease in health at lower levels, and you start seeing this damage creep compound to levels it hasn't been to before. I have seen level 40 Fire Wizards get 100 plus damage when they're using the Decathlon deck, and it's not even the high level ones either. It's like deck 5, deck 6. So I don't know about all that. And yes, I do have a pretty big problem with being able to get 8 extra damage just out of nowhere. And 5 to 6 if you're in the other classes. I wouldn't be too pressed if you were giving up stats for it elsewhere. However, because of how the petted mounts are part of the set bonus, you give up literally nothing, except a few cards your old pet would have given you, and a slight bit of damage from your Gulcher or whatever, if you had one. And with the new set bonus, it gets made up for pretty easily. So not only that, but the rental mounts count for the set bonus too. And anyone who's opened the pack knows how common those are. I even got one from the Scroll of Fortune. Here we go. Like, set bonus available. You can see it. I can literally get 6% extra damage on my storm for 7 days because I have this. What a game we play, huh? So, if I had it my way, the pets, at the very least, wouldn't count for the set bonus, but I might leave in the mounts for people who get things like the Gulchers, just to give them an alternate, I guess, option. But I definitely would not have the 1 day and 7 day rentals get counted as part of the set, because that's just dumb. So I was looking through the Wiz subreddit the other day, and came across a post with a not so great outlook on what KingsIsle might do with set bonuses in the future from things like bundles and that sort of thing. So the post reads, since KingsIsle likes to penalize players for cosmetic items, it brings up a question. What is the next step? Now, first we have mounts, which penalizes players who don't have a stat mount. Then we have pets that are now penalizing players for not using them due to set bonuses. The final step I believe could happen is they bring in houses or castles with stats tied towards them. Considering we are slowly but surely being forced out of using unique items, I believe this is fitting. A slight 2 to 4% increase in stats for equipping a certain castle seems quite fitting. And with how this year's been going for the game, it would not surprise me if this got green-lighted by the CEO at some point in the future. And we're probably going to start seeing more random things with set bonuses tied towards them, and it's probably not going to start with accessories like the Athame, Amulet, and Ring, which are the 3 logical choices, the deck too. And I think right now the design team is probably brainstorming what players can equip to try and see if they can attach a set bonus to it with like a new pack or bundle or something like that. Probably doing that as we speak. And we may even see jewels end up being part of set bonuses. Imagine a world where just because you socketed 2 pierce jewels on your Athame, you get an extra 2% pierce to the school your jewels were, regardless of your level. So this would add like an extra 2% pierce at like level 65 to like just for having 2-3%. Like it's probably gonna happen. In conclusion, I think there's a great storm coming in terms of monetized set bonus stats that are a little too easily accessible, like with the rental mounts, like this 7-day, like bruh. A world where equipping a bundled castle that gives you like 3% extra pip chance is not far away, I don't think. So, I mean, players can already run 2 set bonuses at once with Dragoon gear and the new Primeval stuff, like you can see right here. I guess not really, but if I have the Dragoon hat, boots, and ring equipped, I can get all this. And then, at the same time, I can have the Primeval pet and Primeval mount equipped. And I'm getting something like, I don't know how much it is, like 8 extra damage just off of set bonuses on an ice, which has the lowest amount of extra damage. I think for a fire it's something like 15. So, I don't know. It's just gonna keep going up from here, I think. That is my outlook on the situation. I'm hoping that this stat revamp that the devs have talked about is able to fix things without completely destroying our existing stats in the process. Once Test Realm drops and they start showing us what the stats are going to look like, I'll probably make a video then too. But for now, I can only hope that they will not butcher this like they've butchered so many other things this year. But I think that is going to wrap things up on this particular topic. So, thank you all for watching. I'm Chulo, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.